Now I'll be fixing my oyster-artichoke soup. Of course, I have to tell you what really happened to introduce this. This is an artichoke. My first experience of eating an artichoke was in a restaurant recently, not too long ago. And of course the chef brought me out this gorgeous artichoke, and it was on a platter like this, and I said, oh well, you know, it looks pretty good. Let's see. He left, you know, and I peeled one of these little leaves off, and I put it all in my mouth, and I chewed and just got stringier and tougher, and I'm saying, I don't like artichokes. Of course, this was cooked, you know. It wasn't raw like this one is. It was boiled. And it had this salad dressing all around, and it was supposed to be delicious, a delicacy. And I said, I told my friend, I said, I don't like artichokes. And she said, well, Miss Lucy, I think you're not supposed to eat the whole, but let's ask the chef. So we called the chef, and he came out, and I said, well, chef, show me how to eat this. And so he delicately peeled off one of the leaves, and he dipped it, and he ate the tip off of it, you know. And I said, my gosh. So I learned something new every day. Even at my old age, I have learned how to eat an artichoke, and they are delicious. But today, I'm going to use the hearts of the artichokes, because you can eat the whole heart. You don't have to be worried about the leaves. You cut that away from the artichoke and just use the heart. So actually what I'm doing here in this spot is that I'm heating up some butter. You may use the margarine if you wish, but I'm using the butter because it's so much richer. Of course, you know us Cajuns, we love rich food, right? You make you a blonde roux, which is not a roux like I would use for a gumbo, because a gumbo has a dark roux. This is just like for a cream sauce, and it will really just kind of thicken your soup. You just kind of saute this until it's just, the flavors of the flour is just absorbed in the butter, and it just like, it's blonde, it's not dark. So to this, of course, you mix it up real good, and you just kind of saute it like this. To this, I'm going to add my artichoke hearts, which I have put in the Cuisinart, and I have, well, I say I mushed them. So these are the hearts that I'm going to use today. All right. You buy these in the grocery store in a can or a jar. Now you don't want the ones that are in vinegar. You just want the plain artichoke hearts. You add that, and then to that you add your oyster juice, which you have taken, drained your oysters, and you use your juice. That will give it a wonderful flavor. Let me put that right here, okay? So you mix it all together like this. You can just smell the good old oyster juice already. To that, I'm going to add some onion tops. Cook that all together. Ah, what the heck, let's use the rest of them. That's when the more is better. Okay. Then I'm going to add some parsley. Okay. Very good. Now that's enough parsley. I don't like to use too much parsley in this. So you have to measure it out pretty uniquely. And garlic. That'll give it that special flavor that I'm looking for. Okay. Good. Let me lower this a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Good. And you sort of saute this together. I'm telling you, I'm so glad that Melissa introduced me to this, because I've really enjoyed cooking this at home. And I've learned that I like artichokes. I had never eaten them because Mama didn't know what an artichoke was, and so we never had them at home. So to this, I'm going to add my gorgeous Louisiana oysters, which Kevin so gracefully gave to me. Boy, I'm telling you, it's a shame putting them in here. I enjoyed them so much over there at the processing plant, eating them raw. Maybe he'll send me some more. Gorgeous. Then I'm going to season that with salt and pepper. And I don't know, I always say salt and pepper. I could say pepper and salt, but let's just do it this way. Okay. Now, usually when you season seafood, you have to use just a little bit more of the seasoning, but sometimes these oysters are pretty salty in themselves, so actually you have to be careful about how salty your oysters are in reference to. And you know, of course, oysters, all seafood, well, they do have a tendency to, they make water, is the way I would say it. You know, Cajuns talk funny, they tell me, but I don't think so. I've never noticed that. All righty. Next to this, you will add your milk, or your half and half, or your cream, whichever thickness and richness that you want this. Look at that. Gorgeous. Now what you want to do, you don't want to overcook this. You never overcook seafood. You have to be careful. And the way I gauge my oysters is that when I see that they curl and they kind of flower up at the edges, they're done. So this is how I'm going to gauge this. And they're already beginning. It doesn't take long. It really doesn't take long. So let me add just a little bit of milk here, because I think my soup would be a little bit too rich. This is a wonderful dish. It's just so rich and so tasty. Good. Now, yes, goodness. Now, I have a very special ingredient. I'm going to share it with you. Never guess what this is. Of course, we don't use too many wines in my cooking because we usually drink it. But I'm going to add a dab of wine to this just to give it a little extra flavor. That'll just make those oysters just really, really taste good. Look how gorgeous they are, and they are curling at the edges. So this is just wonderful to serve at parties or for your family. I wish you could smell it. It looks so good and it's so tasty. So now this is it. It's so quick and easy. Now we've got time to do another special oyster recipe.